Buongiorno, ragazzi. Today is another video after a while because I go to uni and I don't have a lot of time to film these videos, but here I am reading another page of Italian with you guys so that we can improve our Italian together. If you're new to this channel, welcome. What I do on this series is that I read a page or a bit more of Italian every day, trying to stay consistent. And as I read through, I kind of explain what I understand whilst highlighting words that I don't understand. And then at the end of the video, I come back with those words translated so we can get a better picture of what's going on in the story. And often a lot of native speakers or just people who know Italian will correct me in the comments. So here's just a great place to have access to native Italians in the comments who will most likely answer any questions you have because they answer the questions I have. And also you can get a lot of vocab because I leave the words that I didn't understand under the video in the description, so you can have access to those. And yeah, my mother tongue is French, my second language is English. I wouldn't say Spanish is my third, though I can understand it. And now I'm pretty focused on Italian. So yeah, here you're following my journey to polyglottism. And if you're a language lover like me, then hit the subscribe button so we can grow together. In the last video I posted, we finished up the third chapter and now we're about to start the fourth. So we've left our main character, Luca Ravelli, in quite a dark place. He's a bit depressed at the moment, but I have hope that it's going to get better for him. So yeah, let's just carry on. We'll read about a page and a half. Andiamo. Mi imposi di passare almeno un'ora al giorno a camminare. A Sara dissi che lo facevo per tenermi in forma. Je me suis imposé, I imposed on myself to spend a little time or about an hour every day walking. To Sarah, he said that he would do it to stay in shape, that he would go on a walk every day to stay in shape. Sara, if you're joining on this video and you don't know, this is Luca, the main character's girlfriend. Camminavo per le strade della mia città senza una meta in particolare. A volte con la musica nelle orecchie, a volte in silenzio. Non mi costringevo a pensare a qualcosa. Lasciavo che la mia mente vagasse e mi portasse dove preferiva. Haven't read in a while, so yeah. Camminavo per le strade, I would walk about the street. I would walk on the street of my city without a specific thought. Una menta in particolare. Yeah, a thought. Una menta must be a thought, something to do with a head. A volte con la musica nelle orecchie, sometimes with music in my ears. So sometimes he would listen to music whilst going on these walks, and sometimes he would just walk in silence. Non mi costringevo a pensare a qualcosa. Lasciavo che la mia mente vagasse e mi portasse dove preferiva. He didn't constrict himself to thinking about anything in particular. Lasciavo, he let go che la mia mente. He let his mind wander. I think that's what it means. La mente vagasse. I don't know what this particular word means, but in the context that it's being used, I'm guessing is something to do with letting his mind wander, letting his thoughts wander. And to carry me wherever it wanted. So he would let this thought carry him wherever it wanted. Fu così che smisi di scappare da tutti quei nuovi pensieri strani. It was like this che smisi di scappare that I started escaping da tutti quei nuovi pensieri strani. That's how he could escape from these weird and dark thoughts he was having. Che smisi di scappare. Don't know what that means. Anzi. So I don't know what Anzi means, but it sounds a lot like ainsi in French, which means can't even explain it. Anzi. Bref, It sounds similar to the word in French, but I don't know if it would be the same in English. Li assecondai, ritrovandomi ben presto a chiedermi se fosse mai stato felice in vita mia. Maybe it was this way, ritrovandomi, that I found myself ben presto. I don't know what ben presto means. A chiedermi, asking myself if I was ever happy in life. This is a big guess, but maybe as he's going on these walks, he's letting his mind wander, and he's saying, these walks allowed me to ask myself if I was ever happy in life. Era una domanda che all'inizio mi sembrò idiota. Certo che ero stato felice nella mia vita. Non ricordavo però più quali sensazioni desse la felicità. It was a question at the beginning that seemed to me stupid. Of course I had been happy. Of course I was happy in my life. Non ricordavo però, but I didn't remember, however, this feeling, this sensation of happiness. I think. Mi sforzavo di cercare I momenti in cui lo ero stato. Erano pochi e sbiaditi. He forced himself, I think about the moments, I momenti. I was about to say the moment, but it's the plural. The moments in which he had been happy. They were little. E sbiaditi, I don't know. E soprattutto lontani nel tempo, come la foto profilo su Facebook, su Facebook. We had this conversation in another video. Facebook or Facebook? I'm going to highlight it just for the Google pronunciation. Let's start that sentence again. E soprattutto lontani nel tempo, come la foto profilo su Facebook, che avevo pubblicato nel 2000. Oh, I know this. Nel 2000 o 2000. Nel 2011. Nel 2011. I need to check now. Hey, Google says nel 2011. And above everything else, lontani nel tempo, far in the future, like in the photo on Facebook that I had published in 2011. Or is he saying that that time was far away? Con il passare dei giorni mi resi conto che stavo piombando in una vera e propria depressione. Che non... So, piombando, don't even know how to pronounce that, don't know what it means. In una vera e propria depressione, che non si palesava all'esterno, ma prendeva fuoco internamente. As the days went on, he realized, mi resi conto, this phrase has been used a lot in this text so far, that I had piombando, maybe fell, because it kind of looked... 20%. Girl, ain't nobody ask you nothing. This speaker speaks whenever she feels like it. This word looks like tomber dans les pommes. Don't ask how I connected that in my brain. If you're a French speaker, don't even ask. Piombando. So he probably fell in a real depression. Que non, that had never... Palesava, that was never shown outside, but was taking fire inside. Bastarda e subdola. Una depressione che ti isola e ti spinge sempre più in fondo al tunnel. Fino a farti perdere. A depression that would isolate you. Che ti spinge sempre, that would always dig you deeper into the tunnel. Ti spinge. In the end, to make you lose. In the end, you lose yourself. Fino a farti perdere. Yeah. Ero come un bambino che si sveglia in piena notte e sente che infuria un temporale. I was like a boy, a boy, that would wake up in the middle of the night and that would feel, qui se sentait, like to feel himself as if he's infuriated. Che infuria. Let me not make this up. Let me just go look it up after. Si avvicina alla finestra ma spera che nessun lampo illumini il paesaggio là fuori. Non sa cosa potrebbe vedere e non lo vuole scoprire. I think he's still talking about this metaphor of the child, this analogy of the child. So he's saying that si avvicina. He got himself closer to the window, but would hope that no lampposts would illuminate the way outside, or would illuminate outside. Il paesaggio, le passage, là fuori. Yeah. Non sa cosa potrebbe vedere e non lo vuole scoprire. He didn't know what he could see and he did not want to find out. Do you know why I know what scoprire is? Because I watch easy Italian videos, and after watching a guy who's also on his way to polyglottism, and he memorizes TEDx talks, he memorizes little clips of videos to improve his pronunciation. And so I tried his technique out, and I know like the first 10 seconds of the video, like pizza, pasta, ma cosa cucinano veramente gli italiani? E hanno qualche trucchetto per le loro qualche trucchetto per le loro ricette? Andiamo a scoprirlo. Scoprire. Al mercato, ovviamente. Anyway, preferirebbe l'oscurità e il silenzio. Preferirebbe tornare a dormire. He would prefer to be in the darkness, in silence. He would prefer to go back to sleep. This, I feel, is very deep because he's saying he doesn't want any light to enlighten outside, but he's also talking about the state of mind he's in. He wants to stay in the dark. You know, he's describing to us how depressed he is. He wants to stay in the dark, not only physically, but metaphorically. He wants to stay in the dark. He wants to go back to bed. He's just depressed. Mi sarebbe piaciuto è come tornare così, bambino, perché in mezzo a quel vortice emotivo in cui ero finito, sentivo che la mia vita era diventata troppo complicata. Io stesso ero diventato troppo complicato, come mi rendevo conto ogni volta che mi ponevo una domanda apparentemente semplice. Cosa ti rende felice? Cosa ti rende felice? Ça lui aurait fait plaisir? It would have pleased him to go back this way, to be a child, to be a boy, because in the middle, quel vortice emotivo. So, mi sarebbe piaciuto, vortice emotivo, in which he finished, whatever vortice emotivo, maybe it's a whirlwind of emotions, in which he ended up. Sentivo che la mia vita, he felt that his life had become too complicated. Every time he would ask himself a simple question, and he would realize how complicated it all had become when he would ask this simple question, cosa ti rende felice? What brings you happiness? What makes you happy? I think. Se lo chiedi a un bambino, lui ti risponde subito. Non deve nemmeno pensarci. Io invece riuscivo a rispondere solo attraverso lunghe e complesse argomentazioni interiori che inglobavano elementi come il lavoro, Sara, la famiglia, gli amici, ma a ben pensarci, tutto questo mi rendeva davvero felice. mi rendeva, mi rendeva davvero felice. He would love to go back to being a child, because when you ask a child, what makes you happy? Il bambino, the kid doesn't have to think about it. He just answers you quickly. He doesn't have to give it a thought. He's saying, however, je réussis, I only succeed at giving a response through a long and complicated argument. So there is a long and complicated argument internally before he's able to answer that question, because he has to think about work, Sarah, his family, his friends, and all these thoughts before he's able to say what actually makes him happy. But after listing all these things, he's saying, does all of this actually make me happy? La disperazione era tale che mi convinsi a cercare un aiuto esterno, ma avevo la sensazione che in quei giorni si decidesse... Oh my gosh! Ma avevo la sensazione che in quei giorni si decidesse... che in quei giorni si decidesse il resto della mia vita. The desperation was so... Era tale che mi... Was so big... Was big... Tale? That he convinced himself to look for external help. He was like, yeah, I'm depressed. I need help. Ma avevo la sensazione che in quei giorni... But I had the sensation that on that day... But I had the sensation that day that he decided he needed external help decided the rest of his life. Makes us want to know what's going to happen next. Hey, Luca, what happens next? I'm going to stop here for today, though. I'm going to go translate the words and then I'll be back. Just wanted to come back quickly as I'm writing up the words to put them into the translator. I've realized un temporale, I think it's a storm, because we've had this word before and it makes sense. Che infuria un temporale would mean something to do with a storm internally. So I wanted to change my assumption before we get into the translations. Okay, I have the translations here. And by the way, excuse the shoes, they're drying because we washed them. Anyway. Almeno un'ora is at least an hour. So he's talking about giving himself at least an hour of a walk every day. Una meta is a destination. So he would walk in the streets of his city without a destination. Vagasse is wandered, so he's letting his thoughts wander. Che smisi, that I stopped. And it was like this, by taking walks, that he stopped trying to run away, de s'échapper, scappare, I believe, from all of these new and strange thoughts. Anzi, on the contrary, gli assecondai, I complied, and I found myself, ben presto is very soon. Presto, it makes sense that it's soon. I could have deduced that, but you know when you overcomplicate things in your head. Mi sforzavo, I tried hard, I forced myself to look for those moments of happiness, to look back at those moments of happiness. While he's trying to find those thoughts of happiness from his past, he's describing them as short or little and faded. So, vague in his mind. He can't really remember the vitality of those memories. Facebook is pronounced Facebook by the Google Italian man, not Facebook. I didn't know. Piombando is swooping. So he swooped into a real depression. Palesava is revealed. Yes, so this depression didn't reveal itself on the outside, so nobody outside of him could have guessed that he was depressed, but it was taking fire inside him. It was a real living thing inside him. Ti spinge is to push you. It pushes you. So he's talking about this depression that isolates. He's saying it isolates you and it pushes you always deeper into the tunnel. Che infuria un temporale. Yeah, it was talking about a storm raging. He felt like a raging storm, or a storm was raging. Potrebbe is could. So yeah, it was the conditional. Potrebbe vedere, could see. Mi sarebbe piacuto, I would have liked. So he would have liked to become a kid again. Vortice emotivo, emotional vortex. And era tale, it was such. The desperation was such that it convinced me to look for help on the outside. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying the reading series and all my other language related content. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, or you can DM me on Instagram. At the moment, on top of doing these videos, I'm also using Easy Italian videos, and I have their membership, so I have access to exercises on top of doing a little Italian course at uni, which is on the side. But yeah, so I'll be sharing a lot of those things with you guys as well, as much as I can. And I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao. Ciao, ciao.